See, we got the best blends, blending all the time. We be blending all the time. We got the best blends, these blends will blow your mind. These blends will blow your mind. She say it's just a blend, but who else out here can spend? Either it is or it ain't a blend. Either it is or it ain't a blend. Live and unrehearsed, putting tracks in a hearse. DJ Rukiz really out here putting that work in. Fred the Great scratched, then the girl starts twerking. Back to back, and you know that it's working. Dropping heat for certain. Cooking every time that we spend. Hey, Compadre, crazy how we blend. Hey, Compadre, it's crazy how we blend. See, we got the best blends, blending all the time. We be blending all the time. We got the best blends, these blends will blow your mind. These blends will blow your mind. She say it's just a blend, but who else out here can spend? Either it is or it ain't a blend. Either it is or it ain't a blend.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. You already seen the ad. Blend Compadres in full effect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, listen. As a DJ, there's many different components to make a DJ great. Blending, mixing, talking, scratching, the whole 9 yards. But the lost art of DJing is truly the mashup remix blend, which, man, I think is truly a real creative force within itself. And what you're seeing on stage right now are two brothers that take it to the next level, because I rehearse mine and then record it and then let y'all hear it. These two brothers just do it right on the spot every single Monday. And I'm like, man, I wish I thought of that one. I wish I thought of that one. Damn, they did it.
I'm glad you realized that.
Nah, I don't
realize that we're doing it live.
Yeah. It's really live
know.
on the spot. Like, you see the tables in front of them, so it ain't no pre-rehearsed stuff. And the fact that they're able to do it, and not every blend comes out perfect, but that's what happens when you're doing it live on the spot. But the fact that these brothers are doing it in this way truly shows another creative side to how dope this culture really, 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 really is. So it's a pleasure to have these brothers. One I've known for a long time, but never met in person. The other brother I'm just now learning about. And it's a truly creative thing. And the most important part about this is the fact that you can have different ethnicities, different races, different backgrounds come together and still do it for the right reasons and make it show enough funky like they do every single Monday. So, ladies and gentlemen, representing the 401, shout out to DJ Lady Ruck as well. Make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for the Blend Compadres, DJ Rukiz and Fred the Great, y'all. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. No. Before we begin, who'd y'all have last night in the game?
Well, you can go, Fred, because I'll tell.
I was going for the Eagles.
Okay.
Just because I kind of didn't want the Chiefs to oust the Patriots as
right.
Because we support New England teams over here, but I was going for the Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also a Patriots fan, but I was definitely going for the Chiefs because I think Taylor Swift is probably the best artist of our time or any generation, bigger than Michael Jackson or Prince. No, sir.
Oh.
No, sir. I'm playing. Don't use that as a hot take. I'm playing. Nah.
Not at all.
I last minute I put $80 on the Chiefs because I just want to see if I could make some money real quick, but I lost it all. So F the Chiefs, F Taylor Swift. Who cares?
Well, Taylor got booed a good number of times last night from what I heard, but I'm in Kansas City and I was going for the Eagles because they beat the Bills. So I'm glad Jalen Hurts got the big one.
I'm happy that the Chiefs won. I'm happy that Philly got a championship. I'm also happy to see someone thrive from that whole situation, which is Gilly the Kid.
Yeah.
Like that. He almost made it as if they thought if he is their quote mascot, it's a good luck charm. And they won, and it just gives him a new breath of life from the rapper he was to now being the podcaster and media person he is. And I like to see that within the culture. So I thought that was, even though I bet against the Eagles, Um, I thought that was really dope that he gets a new fresh breath of life in through mainstream media and national media because they're all like giving him some props.
Absolutely, absolutely, most definitely. Salute to Gilly the Kid, the Roots, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and anybody out there in Philly celebrating right now. So let's take it back to the beginning, gentlemen, respectively and collectively. When did DJing fall into y'all's laps as a career? Where were you? What did you first notice? How did you first get started? Who wants to set it off?
Yeah, Fred.
All right. I always wanted to be a DJ for the longest time. So I officially I became a DJ when I was 15. So I got my first job at a supermarket, like pushing shopping carts and stuff.
Right.
And I bought an old realistic Radio Shack mixer from this guy named Glenn the Iceman. He had a record store right down the street from my house, and a cheap set of turntables. And from there, I just spent all my money on records, and then trying to upgrade my equipment here and there. But I've always wanted to be a DJ, and so I've been DJing for like 35 plus years. I'm old. I'm old. I'm what these youngins call an old head. But I've been DJing forever. It's always been something I wanted to do, and what influenced me to want to be a DJ was like if you look at the old videos, like the old rap videos from the 80s, they used to celebrate the DJ. They would make songs about the DJs. If you see like the video, like Houdini and stuff, the DJs were on scaffolding and they were like the centerpiece of the concerts, like Jam Master Jay and all that stuff. And I thought that was so dope to be like the center of attention and have songs written about you and stuff like that. So I always just wanted to be a DJ, just like, the power to move that crowd just by playing music. And that's kind of what was my influence.
Before I let Rukiz talk, I just want to talk about Public Enemy's live stage show. I always loved Terminator X's ex DJ stand every time I went to a PE concert. That was just so powerful, the way it lit up and how he was cutting and scratching, would just move with his movements. Always a pretty dope thing. Salute to Terminator X.
Do you want to know a fun fact about Terminator X not a lot of people know?
Sure.
There's a DJ named DJ Johnny Juice who did all the scratches on the album. So that wasn't really Terminator X doing those scratches.
Wow. Wait, so on the Tates and Nation of Millions, none of that was Terminator.
That was DJ Johnny Juice.
Oh shoot, man!
But it was billed as Terminator X. So he did. So Johnny Juice did. He was kind of like I don't want to say
Terminator X.
That wasn't Terminator X. That was DJ.
None of that was. Juice. Wow. Well, I hope that guy got paid for it then, because that album is
I don't know if he got paid for it, but I know it's and
damn.
that's one a little fun fact that not a lot of people know about. But
that I'm not going to use that as Can I use that as a hot take? Would y'all mind if I?
I mean, it is what it is. That it's public information now, so I'm not the first to break that story. I'm just spitting a fun fact.
That's amazing. Oh man, my mic just fell.
Yeah, and I heard that from Rob Swift. So I used to work for a company called we both work for a company called In Music, and I was in product development for the DJ division. So I worked for Rain, Newmark, then on DJ, and I helped design a lot of the Rain stuff.
So the Rain 1, the Rain 12s and 72, that was Spread the Great,
and so I had a lot of I met a lot of my idols, you know what I'm saying, including Jazzy Jeff. That was one of the greatest days of my life to go to his house to witness Playlist Retreat, even though I was only there for like a day. It was for me, it was everything. But so when I would meet a lot of these DJs, we would always just kick it and talk, and I would always ask them, hey, tell me what is your what story do you got to tell that most people might not be aware of? And Rob Swift told the story about Johnny Juice, and Johnny Juice was there. So he's like, hey, Johnny Juice, and they're like, you know who this is? And like, no, this is Johnny Juice, and he did all the ghost scratching on Public Enemy's records, and I didn't know that until he told me. So I was like, I was kind of like you were. I was shocked.
That's crazy, bro. Man, that's insane.
Yeah,
man. Let's get back to that later on. Rukiz, for you, my brother, what was your first introduction into the culture? How old were you, and what made you want to pursue this career to where you are now?
I got into an argument with my mom, and I left the house, and I ended up going to this guy's house. His name was Mo D.
Chief Rocker Mo D.
DJ Mo D. Random Mo D, not probably a Mo D you might know. But he ended up having 12s and 1200s and a mixer, and I slept on his floor. So when he went to work, I would mess around with the turntables. And that was my first introduction. And him and a guy named DJ X1, so Modi and X1, they really started me on that path. Um, Later on, I would say maybe like 2 to 3 years from that point, and I was probably 16 or 17 at that time. I met Fred and a lot of other people in the game, but that really made me want to be a DJ from that point.
Amen and amen. Now, for those that are young, because I'm turning 51 this coming Friday, so I think I've been around a little bit.
Happy early
Happy
birthday.
birthday. Yep.
Yeah, thank you. The receding hairline is showing every day now.
I can relate.
And look, there you go. I'm a leader just like that. When we came up, it was a really, there was no videos, BET, MTV really wasn't giving us our spotlight. We really had to get out there and really work for a name. In y'all's early beginnings, what were some of the hardships and challenges you guys had to face coming from the Rhode Island, New England area, which was a pretty saturated market? But we'll get into that as we proceed. But talk about your early beginnings and how difficult or how easy it could have been for y'all when y'all were transitioning into where you guys are today.
I think my biggest thing was affording and getting exclusive records.
Right.
I think that was like the worst situation coming from Rhode Island. You had to either know somebody or try to get into a record pool or be a tastemaker or anything like that, or just get records shipped to you somehow, some way, and trying to lie to the record labels and tell them you're bigger than what you are and all that type of stuff to try to get that exclusive record.
Yes, sir.
Trying to get the freestyles or whatever it may be from the artist. I think that was the biggest challenge because at that time, even though it was not as much as they are now, vinyl was
$5.49 for a song, and you had to buy two of them.
one song.
Yeah.
You had to buy two of them.
And then the album was $10 to $15.
Yeah.
So every dollar you had went into your record collection.
Mm-hmm.
And God forbid something happened to your record, or someone took your record, or someone scratched your record, or your little brothers and sisters messed around with it. You was buying that record again.
The needles.
If they had that record.
Yep.
Like the record stores ran out all the time. You literally toured every record store in New England to try to find a gem. Skippy White's Here in Mass.
Yep.
Luke's records, yeah. Strawberries, like you was everywhere trying to find the records, and if you had a little inch of pull, you probably could get the record ordered for you. But if not, that record was gone after 5 or 10 pressings. So you might have been 5 or 10 that had that one record that everybody might have wanted to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember one of those records was Bounty Killer. Who Send Them? Remember that record?
Oh,
with the hip hop beats.
Yeah. All them Bounty Killers where he was over those hip hop beats. I don't even know who made that. Was that Dexterity who made them? Probably. Anyway, whoever made them records, that was a white label. You couldn't get that. You couldn't get that record. So. And the worst part of it is if you had just that one scratch in the record that made that record skip, and you had to skip that part all the time. So that I think that was my biggest challenge. If I could take back all the money I spent in records today, I'd probably be a rich man.
Amen.
And
the part about the scratch on the record, it was always at the best part of the record too. Yeah. 9 times out.
Never failed.
My 112 Only You record had a scratch in it. I used to put my thumb right on the needle every time it came to that one part, and 90% of the time you would hear the pop, but it wouldn't skip because I would press down. I knew where to press down on the needle.
Wow.
So I used to be like, yo, because I couldn't find another copy.
Just think about the meticulousness in that. Like,
you
knew your records to the point where every inch of it, you kind of, the 12-inch, you knew every inch of the 12-inch.
I mean, we used to put stickers on them, markers, tape. We used to do, if the hole in the center was too big and the record would skip when you would scratch it, we used to put tape inside of that to make it more firm. I mean, but to go on your question, I think the biggest part for me, the hardest part for me, was back in the day, especially in Rhode Island, there was only a handful of clubs that played hip hop.
Yeah.
And there was one or two, maybe three hip hop DJs that kind of had things sewn up at that time. So for me, I think one of the hardest parts was actually just breaking into the scene and getting a residency or getting clubs. Besides the financial aspect, because equipment is expensive, records are expensive, needles are expensive.
To elaborate off of that, and the vice versa. And you're from New England, so they really didn't like black DJs that played
No,
black music. They
no.
wanted white DJs that played white music. So that's where I got it from. I
Yeah.
really couldn't get in these clubs because they didn't want. They thought that we were bringing out every hood dude in the hood to the
Right.
to the venue. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it wasn't until I got with certain people like Clinton Sparks and the Smash Squad that I ended up being in places that I probably would never have gotten a call for.
Mhm.
And I just, it's just the reverse of Fred. He didn't get in there, and I think a lot of times there was an intimidation factor with DJs because I'll tell anybody at any time, Fred is the best technical DJ I know. And I mean, I'm around him a lot, but I'm just saying, even coming up, I was like, this dude is dope. He's just dope all the way around. The way he cuts, he scratches, and he mixes, like, it was just dope to me. So me coming up, I would rather carry somebody's records, and I've carried Fred's, I've carried Chubby Chubbs, I carried Clinton Sparks records, and just be around the scene doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's lost now in today's DJ.
It's like an apprenticeship almost. Like
Very lost.
you gotta
Yeah.
learn the ropes.
What's
I
the hazing? They used to haze.
Oh man, I got hazed by Flex the Iceman. I got hazed by
Oh, Flex! I just
Flex.
I just DJ'd event, and Flex just came up to me. He was like, "Yo," and he looked familiar, and then homeboy was like, "Yo, that's Flex the Iceman." I was like, "Yo, I used to listen to him all the time. Yo,
Yeah.
really dope dude."
I spun with him a couple times at Cosmo. He came in.
Yeah.
He came in
He's a very dope man. Shout out to y'all already, man. Just hearing y'all speak about the legends and your upbringing already, just really I admire you all even more. And I haven't even gotten into the nuts and bolts of y'all story. But Fred, as he just spoke about being a black DJ and the challenges we had to face. What were the challenges for you as a Caucasian DJ? Someone that would get the flag.
Let me tell you something.
And they call you the culture vulture because we started this culture. All that rhetoric.
No, I mean I grew up in the hood. You name the hood in Rhode Island, in Providence. I grew up in it.
Right.
I don't come from I come from straight poverty, and I see and to backtrack a little on what Ruckus said about me being so technical is I had to be, because I had that chip on my shoulder where it's like, I mean, I remember one time I was walking into an event we used to do hooky parties at like community centers and things like that, and I'm carrying crates of records, and somebody said, "That ain't the DJ," and I'm like, everybody thought I was black. Because I was on a little college radio station called 88.1 back in the day, and just by my voice, people thought they didn't know, So when people would see me, they would kind of have almost like this disgusted look. I'm like, "That's him."
Wow.
And so I always felt like I was like, I'm gonna show these cats what it is. So I always used to have a little bit of show off in me, like I have to prove my worth. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I always felt like I had to do a little extra with the cuts, the doubling up on the records, the tricks, the spins, and all that other crap. So and that's how people got to know me. And then I remember the first time somebody was like, I heard somebody say, "Yo, that's Fred the Great," and they're like, "Oh, word!" Like in a positive light, it kind of put the biggest smile on my face. I was going to a show at Lupo's, and I was just walking down this little alleyway, and somebody, and in my mind, I'm like, "Yes, people finally recognize me."
Mhm.
So it felt so good. But yeah, I always had to like prove myself. And like you said, we didn't have cameras, we didn't have social media. I mean, we didn't have video. Your name on a hand drawn flyer was all you got.
Yeah,
So I had to like prove
Oh.
myself. So I've always,
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, we got the Blend Compadres. And before we go any further, you just talked about WMBR. Big rest in peace to the one and only PJ Porter, who was a staple of that radio station, man. Salute to best slow jam station show I ever listened to. That was my guy. Salute PJ Porter all day. So let's talk about the Blend Compadres, man. I started off the show with this improvising set that y'all do every Monday. And if memory serves me correct, you're in your fourth year. Is that where we are? Four years?
Yeah. Is it 2000? Yeah. Our first video was up 2021. Yep.
Nice. So we are celebrating the 4th-year blend anniversary, as y'all like to call it. How did this begin? When did this start? Talk about how this became to what it is right now.
So it was during COVID, and we kind of did like little impromptu sets at Fred's house. But during COVID, we were like, we can't go anywhere. Fred had his setup upstairs in his dining room.
table.
Yeah, on the dining room table, and you know, Fred's house. I don't you don't you want to you kind of don't want to put things where they're not supposed to be because Mrs. Jones don't play. Mrs. Jones don't play. So
Right.
she said, you got to do what you got to do, and Fred was like, come over and let's just set this up, and that's where it's so weird how things start and you just really don't think about it until like later on, but that's how it just started. And it started um just as like to the left as our blends be, you know. It wasn't meant to be that we set it up like that, but it just happened to be like that, and we just thought it was dope. When we went on Facebook, we got a lot of love, um and we just thought it was a dope set, and we're like, we got to do this all the time. And the blend Compadres name didn't birth till later because I think I was like, we'll call
You
it,
was naming duos.
yeah,
He was like
Batman and Robin.
SpongeBob and Patrick, and he was naming a bunch of like duos. And then he just said, we're like the blend compadres. And then even then, when he said that, the name didn't stick. And then like the next day, he's like, yo, I'm gonna send you something. He sends me a logo, and I was like, yo, that's so dope. And that's how we got the name. But when everybody was on going live entertaining, all the DJs was doing their sets, we're like, let's just go live, 4 turntables, do live blends. One will do instrumentals, the other do acapellas, and then we can switch and whatever. And we did it as a way because we both love the art of DJing. Like we love the mixing, the blending, the scratching, the transitions, the song selection. We just love to DJ. You know what I mean? And it just all worked out, and then we just got and if you look at the first video we did to where we are now, like we actually we made, and it's all live and unrehearsed. So
But when we're saying that is it's live and unrehearsed, and we don't practice whatsoever. But us, I know when Fred's thinking something and it's about to happen, and he kind of learned the same thing with me. So we both know what's going on, and we end up just sometimes we post some stuff off that we're like, wow, that was fire.
and you'll notice too, sometimes we're so in sync. I'll play the instrumental and he'll drop the same acapella at the same time because we're both thinking the same. Like and then we'll try to switch it up. But we only get better with time. So it's kind of like, and sometimes we just pull some blends out and we're like, we got to remember that one, and we
never do.
We never do. But it's like, so we asked our listeners to stop. Let us know what your favorite blends are, so that we can kind of like
what we wanted to do was put a compilation together. But listen, I love the impromptu fact of what we do. I love that we mess up sometimes. It shows that we're humans. I respect anybody who goes in and records and tracks out their blends and does all that, the timing and all the pitch and the sync and all that stuff. Good for you. But what my thought process and what me and Fred talked about with the Blend Compadres is we're going to show that we're just 2 human beings, and we love the art of music, and music isn't meant to be perfect, because if it was, we wouldn't have the Princes, we wouldn't have the different type of artists, the ODBs. There wouldn't be none of those artists because they didn't go and do everything perfect. They did everything on their terms, and we're going to be Blend Compadres on our terms.
That's real, bro. The Roots are a group that do a lot of improvisation during their shows, and sometimes the improvisation sounds better than the recorded stuff that they do, which is why I love what it is you do, because it's like you can go back and be like, man, we really did that. Is there ever been a standout moment in any of the show that you had when you could look at and be like, yeah, that part, that blend right there, man, we hit a home run with that? Can you recall a moment? Go ahead.
I have one. It was I forgot what state we were in. The lucky thing about Blend Compadres is that people who watch us have booked us, and we're going to 50th birthday parties. We're doing um biker events, and we were at a biker event. I can't think of where it was. Where were we
That
at
was
the?
in, I want to say Virginia or North Carolina or something like that.
Yeah,
I think it
so
was like
we're at this event, and I said, Fred, we should do a gospel blend, and all our blend sets have came from a thought at somewhere where we were at.
Right.
So we did that love theory, and was it there that we
Kirk,
did love
Kirk.
theory with Kirk Franklin? No, it was because I recorded it. I recorded that, and and the people there were confused but also liking it. They didn't know that Kirk Franklin could be in the middle of a party. We could actually
Blended.
play a blend that worked out. But we originally made that from the 50th birthday party,
Yeah.
which quick story with that
Hmm.
was a wife wanted to surprise her husband because he watches us all the time, and she booked us and didn't tell him.
Oh wow.
So we it was a surprise birthday party all the way around. But Fred and I set up, and he walks in the door, and he sees I gave her hoodies to some Blanca Padres hoodies, and he seen the hoodies. He's like, "Babe, you got us hoodies. You got us Blanca Padres hoodies." He was souped. Then he comes in and turns around, and he's like, "Oh shit, Fred the Great and DJ Ruckus are here." He didn't know we were there. It,
Wow.
it, it just was a dope feeling for us
Yeah.
because it feels like blends that we've been
And he
doing
said his
all our
pastor.
lives.
He said his pastor was there, so we had to keep it
Oh
clean.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
pastor was there,
and that's
so
that's where the gospel
and then we
blends
started like, oh,
actually
let's
came
try.
from.
Then Ruckus went in the gospel bag and pulled out some gospel stuff, and then that's where we tried to do that. That's where the first time we tried gospel was, and then it worked out. And then we said, "Yo, let's do a
And
whole
then
other
we
set."
started taking love theory all the time, and I like that we end with love theory all the time. We end our blend sets at spots that we get booked with love theory, just to show people like, yo, we could be different, but it's all love all the way around.
Yep.
Through the
Amen.
music, it's all love all the way
I like
around.
the ones where Ruckus is like, "Yo, you got to run that back." Like if like in the middle of if we're doing a live blend and we just hit one that's just like that's crazy. Ruckus is just, "Yo, we got to bring that back." I think one of the first times he did that was we did the Compadre Stole Christmas with the Donny
Mm.
Hathaway over the, and then we just brought it back, and then
Was that over the bridges
it was
over?
over the bridges over beat, yeah.
Ooh.
And there's moments like that, we'll just come up with blends, or we do like there's a couple in the yacht rock one too. But there's a bunch of them.
Listen. Well, I think almost every set we surprise each other, and sometimes he'll pull out an instrumental. I'll be like, I don't even know where he came from, and I'll look over at his computer because one thing we don't know what the other one's playing.
Right.
So I'll look at his computer like, what, what is that? Or I'll pull out an acapella, and he'll be like, damn, where did that come from? And it could be anything from Reading Rainbow to Cheers. You know what I mean? And that is what makes us us.
Hmm.
We're not in competition with anybody because we just want to be us, and we're not trying to do, even though we have done battles, we're not trying to battle. We're not trying to do that. This is not the point of what we do. We love the music. We love the culture. We love music all the way around, whether it be country, hip hop, or whatever. We love the music all the way around. So we're just being us. We're being DJ Ruckus and Fred the Great, and collectively the Blend Compadres.
Amen and amen. And I'm here for it. You talked about DJ Juice. We only got about 12 more minutes. I don't want to take too much more of your time, but you talked about the influence of DJ Juice. Where you did a whole dedication show to him. What made DJ Juice great? And you can't really emulate him, but you can only try to be the best you in honor of him. So just explain the greatness to those that don't know about Jersey's finest DJ Juice and how impactful he was to y'all careers and still is.
In my case, Juice was one of them. He was such an innovator
Mhm.
that when he came out to DJ the first time I seen him, it was I believe it was at a spot called El Inca, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, when he came out to the spot, what I thought was so dope besides his mixtape was he had headphones, right? And it
Mhm.
was a telephone,
Oh,
an actual pickup headset to the telephone. They
Wow.
rewired to make a headphone. So when he had the headphone, the one ear and the headphones, it was the telephone. And I said, "Yo, this dude is something else." He That made me feel like I need to be as innovative as that. And
Mhm.
I will say this, and like my mixtapes, when I did blend mixtapes, a little bit of Juice was there because I just loved his style.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you can't deny somebody who comes up with something that I'm gonna say millions of people probably heard,
Yeah.
and it's just so goddamn dope. You're like, I gotta take a piece of that.
Those intros were amazing, man. The intros alone, just yeah.
And his
Fred.
exclusives. He had
Yeah.
exclusives after exclusive. After he had these acapellas that,
And you know how it
on
is with
vinyl, we're over
acapellas.
here like, how the hell did he get that? Then they'll
Right.
have the artists like Miss Jones and all these artists come up and sing hooks with his name in them. And I'm like, that is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
I was just baffled at how he got all those exclusive acapellas, let alone how good he was. But just the fact he had all those exclusives, and we would go hunting for exclusives.
And
And
the blend culture is something big in Rhode Island. Like
oh, we love, yeah,
the blend culture has always been like huge here, and there's certain blend DJs from certain sides of town and all that type of blend battle type stuff that happens, and it's happened since we was a kid. And DJ Juice was just one of them. DJ Juice, Dirty Harry. If you didn't have one, you had the other. If you had both, and
Right.
you just can't deny a guy like that. And the funny thing about Juice that comes full circle is when found out, and I actually found out from Fred that he passed away, but I went through the channels to make sure it was 100% because Fred wasn't sure if it was, and when we found out that it was, um, a week or two later, I think it was about a week, the Juice, which was always the name of my radio station,
Hmm.
but this is now born. This is a thing now. We're sitting in the radio station as we speak on here right now,
Nice.
and we're gonna be on air, and that was a dream of mine. So I look at all these moments as full circle moments. Like Juice was was cool. I brought him out to an event because I didn't want to lose our DJs that I grew up with that I love. So I was bringing out DJs left and right, doo wop. Mr. C was one, and then a week later, Mr. C was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Juice I brought out, and then a year later, Juice was gone. So
Mm.
all the Dirty Harry, I brought all these DJs out, Select the Bomb Bomb, and it's just because I grew up and I'm as nostalgic with DJs as people are with their toys. You know what I'm saying?
yep,
How
yep.
people collect He-Man
Yeah.
or 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 cards. Like we're just as nostalgic with that with DJs, and like me and Fred will go out and we want to see a DJ rock that we haven't seen in a long time. It was dope seeing Green Lantern at
Mm.
the last Nas concert. And we're more in tune with the D. Like, what's he doing?
We want to get inspired. I mean,
Yeah,
I used to go to concerts just to look at the DJ because the
Right.
DJ would always have his little segment where he would do all his tricks and stuff, and I used to go there and stand it just to wait for the DJ.
mm.
Man.
And sometimes the
That,
DJ wouldn't do anything, and I would get mad. But I would go more for the DJ than I would the rapper or the artist.
And just to sum that up, is the most amazing thing about that Locks and Dipset battle to us
was
was the
Technician the
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Technician the DJ
Yeah.
was the most impressive thing.
Yeah.
He's actually in Rhode Island February 22nd. But
Nice.
I don't get bored watching Technician because he always does something creative. And for him to be as creative as he was with the Jadakiss and that freestyle and
Oh,
bringing it back, it was just so dope. You can't deny that.
not
His
at
timing
all.
was it was perfect. His timing, the way he picked the right songs, dropped them at the right time, and it was perfect.
Yeah, and you just can't deny the DJ's role, and it makes me upset a little bit. I'll give you a prime example that really made me upset recently was 50 Cent had did his run of Get Rich or Die Trying. I guess it was the what 20-year anniversary or whatever.
Hmm.
So whatever it was, he had the DJ and my man Chubby Chub, but he had the DJ up in the rafters somewhere.
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate that because he's part of your show and he's a key part of your show. And any artist that hides the DJ is just or doesn't know the DJ's name. Hey yo, DJ, drop that. I hate that.
Me too. But his original DJ, Who Kid, was just a button. Who Kid would just press
He
buttons.
was just a button
So
pusher.
Who
Absolutely.
Kid wasn't really a DJ like we're talking about now. He would just
Right.
push the buttons. So he
Yeah.
wasn't really the true essence of a DJ.
But Who Kid
But
kind of launched their career.
he did.
Who Kid
He
kind
did
of
though.
launched that whole G
No, he
Unit
did.
era. So you can't take away that the
Yeah,
DJs.
but you're not going to showcase Who Kid because he's not gonna put on that DJ show.
But you
No.
know what really made
Like
me upset about that whole situation is that they didn't showcase Chubb, but then Busta Rhymes was on the same show, and Scratchator had a beautiful setup.
Oh yeah.
Like his booth was dope. He constantly included him in the show.
yep.
He would call his name all the time, and then he'd stop the whole show. Give it up for my DJ, Scratchator.
Yeah.
And just the way Busta Rhymes did that shows how much he loves this whole thing we call hip hop. And
Yeah.
it doesn't get lost in the corporate aspect of what hip hop is. And I think that's what happened with that 50 show. It was like 50 was dancing. 50 was dancing with dancers.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I don't want a guy that got shot 9 times. I don't want to see him doing a 2-step or 3-step.
Oh man.
I want to love it for Get Rich and Die Trying. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
what it was. And when 50 Cent came to Providence and Mass, he went to UMass, and then he went to the Officers Club. Back in the back. You know what I'm saying? That was a while ago. But he gave you that essence of what raw street he came from. You know what I'm saying? Like that rawness. And I just that new 50 I seen that had a band and he had the DJ up in the rafters was just like I was all right with it. I wasn't happy. But Busta Rhymes made me very happy.
Yeah. Busta is that guy. And I'll share a Jazzy Jeff story, and then we're gonna wrap things up. I forgot where he came in Boston. Shout out to Frank White, who gave me the last remaining ticket of the show. And I went and watched Jazzy, and I stayed there right in the corner and just studied everything. All my friends were dancing and drinking, and one person came. I was like, "Yo, Daz, what you doing?" And like, "I'm studying," and that was it. Studying everything that Jeff did. I wasn't gonna get it all, but I was just studying because that man is a one-man show every single time. And I salute DJ Jazzy Jeff and all the great
100%.
talented DJs that are out there doing their wonderful thing. Well,
We're gonna have to do part 2 to this. So I don't think we're
we got about
fully
3
done.
minutes left. So let's quickly plug tonight. Plug this thing. The show is yours. Let them know how they can hear you because you're about to come on in very soon.
Yeah.
So talk about it.
It's Mixtape Monday. We do this every Monday from 7 to 9. We done change the times just as much as we change blends. But we make it happen. And what it is the same thing that we do all the time, but from 7 to 8 we do it clean, and from 8 to 9 we're just all our Blend Compadre family. So we're with them and whatever they want.
The
We do
chat
it live
is-
on
chat
YouTube.
is live.
Yes, the chat is something that you definitely need to be in to talk to people. They help each other, they talk to each other, they calm each other down, they rile each other up.
It's a community.
It's definitely a community. We love them guys. The support has been beautiful. We appreciate all our supporters, and we're very grateful for anything that we have because we've been blending for a long time, and it's finally time that people seeing blends and what we've done actually paying it forward to us, and it's just a dope feeling. And us on the radio is just another segue of us getting to whatever other place we want. Heather B, we're waiting for that call. She contacted us, but we're waiting for that call. We need to go. We need to be on Sway in the morning. We're gonna do something that no other DJ has done there. I promise. So Heather B, we're just waiting for that call. And that's really it. The Blend Compadres every Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, The Blend Compadres. Our Instagram's The Blend Compadres. Our TikTok is The Blend Compadres. And everything else is The Blend Compadres. So all you got to do is log on. We got Mejente. We got Christian Mingle. Everything. So we're good.
So we got a minute and a half left. all the hip hop losses we've had over the last 20 years, we've lost so many. Which one impacted you the most and why individually?
That's a tough one.
For me, it was Dave from De La Soul. I mean, that forever will be someone I wish could enjoy the fruits of his labor, seeing all his stuff finally get to be owned by them, and he's not here to celebrate that success. So that's mine. Who are y'all?
For me, I would say it had to be Big, because there was so much that like I like. So for me, as far as the lyricist goes, Biggie's flow, the way he sounded, just the way he put words together.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish there was more. Like
Right.
I wish he would have. I wish he had. So I wish he had the work ethic like Pac had, where
Yeah.
Pac would song after song after song after song after song after song. Where Big,
Right.
he only had a handful of joints that went unreleased, and then they tried to do an album, and it just wasn't there. But I wish that I just could have hit, and also Big L too. Like lyrically,
That's what I was gonna say.
lyrically. Oh, I'll let you talk on Big L, but I think those two, but for me, Biggie, but Big L would be a close second, because
You know what bothers me about hip hop? These they always take the good lyricists.
Yeah.
They always take the good lyricists.
Yeah.
Stack Bundles, good lyricists. Big L, Biggie, even the Pops. Even though he died of a guru, they keep on taking the. Why don't they take Young MC?
we don't wish death on him.
No, I don't. No, I don't wish death on him. I'm just saying, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious, man. Look, you guys got to get ready to do your thing. Thank you for taking this time out. We definitely need to do a part 2, so we can just get more into it. But thank you for taking the time out, Fred the Great, DJ Rukiz, the Blanca Padres.
Oh, shout out to you, Daz.
Yes,
Daz one. Shout out to you,
man. Nah, bro. Thank y'all, man.
because you was definitely on me to make this happen, and everything that we're doing with the radio station and what's going on, like, it's all been a blur lately. But this is.
I'm gonna turn on the live stream stuff.
I love how you were on me and you made sure that it happened. And sometimes you need that. You know what I mean? So we appreciate you. Part 2 coming. Part 2 coming.
Absolutely. Go do your thing, brothers. Definitely stay in touch. I want to talk to you more about the radio station when you have some time too, because maybe I could drop some mixes, some pre-record stuff for it or whatever. Let's talk about that.
All right.
Sounds all right, good. Brother.
All right.
Days, Rukiz and Fred the Great, Blanca Padres. I'm going to sign them off so they can get ready. And it has been a wonderful, wonderful episode. They are about to go live on YouTube channel, the Blanca Padres. Check them out on YouTube, starting, I think, at the top of the hour. And the first hour is all radio stuff because they're going to be radio. But then the second hour is just the kids can, the adults can come out to play. Definitely check them out. Thank y'all again for rocking out with me. Tomorrow evening, we got a legend. We got a legend coming. If you follow me on my Instagram page, you will see the flyer of the legend we got coming. But until that day, which is tomorrow, we're going to see you then. Here's a hint for tomorrow. Deep inside. Deep, deep down inside. That's all I'm going to tell you. See y'all tomorrow. Enjoy the Blanca Padres because I'm going to go tune in and rock with them as well. After I say hello to my wife, because she's in the house now. I want to make sure I give her a proper greeting and hang out with her. And I will be back. All right? Salute to every last one of y'all. Peace and blessings. I'm out, y'all. One LOVE.